Choo, 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 choo. Oh, I can't spell all of a sudden. My sister is crazy. I know what I do know. She better stop telling. You know, let me just turn my. There we go. Let me turn my ringer off. Let's do this. There we go. Okay. So right now, I'm drinking my tea. I'm just waiting for people to come on. However, if you hear my door open, then that means that my husband might have busted in while I was doing a live. So if you hear, like, you hear me get quiet and stop talking, he only coming in to change, but because he got somewhere to go. But that would be why. Hey, Tiff. Oh, you know what? I'll be right back. I gotta grab my tablet. But I'm not gonna pause the broadcast. I'll be right back. Let me just grab it real quick. Where is it? Lord Jesus. Ralph. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm back. Let me see. I had to make sure I got all my stuff together. He doesn't want me to be great. All right, let's close all these. Now let's go back. I'm waiting because I tagged some people. Let me get up over here. I'm waiting because I tagged some people, and at this point, you know, I don't like starting when people don't know, but let me just do this. Live starts now. All right. So we're gonna get started. No, that's not what I'm doing. Tag some people. Let me see who this is. Yeah, this isn't working. It doesn't want me to be great. So there's that. Let me not even try to tag. This is what I do. Oop. Da, 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 da. So today we're going to be talking about how to live with the masculine, like how we're going to live with the yang. All right. How to create balance and harmony in your relationship as a woman. So this is mainly like, again, my job is like, I feel like, you know, my calling is to talk to women. I don't really talk to men, but because I feel like men should talk to men. But yeah, like how to live in with the masculine and how to dwell kind of like in harmony with them. My tablet is not actually letting me tag the people I want to tag, but you know, it's cool. Okay. All right. So here we are. Hey, Kim. How you doing? What's up, baby? So today, you know, I don't like to trigger people, but my stuff always be triggering because it be triggering to me. I'd be like, dang, you know, but y'all know I got my notes. So today, we're talking about how to live in unison and harmony with the masculine. I got my notes today, though, for real, y'all, because last time Tip kind of distracted me because I was looking at her, but I wasn't looking at my notes. But so the first thing we want to ask ourselves is if we are in a relationship with someone specific, if we are in a long-term relationship, fiancé relationship, or a marital relationship, do you actually know the man that you're dwelling with? Do you know him? And how well do you know him? And when I say that, I don't mean superficially, my friend. I'm talking about like, who is he? So like, ask yourself these questions, right? Who is he? What is he about? What are his goals? What was his upbringing? What is his culture? Meaning like two ways. One, his legit culture. We're going to talk about that a little bit because culture plays a very big part in who we are with long term. So when I say first culture, I mean his legit culture. Is he black, white, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, African, Haitian, Dominican, you know, Indian? These cultures are all different. So you got to know what his culture is. Even if you need to know where he's from, like a man from Mississippi is going to act different than a man that's from the Bronx. So they have different codes, different things that they live by. You get a man from the Bronx or New York or Brooklyn, he's going to be faster. He's going to talk faster. He's going to have a different swag about him. He's going to have a different way that he moves. He's going to be like always on the move, always doing something. And then you might meet a man from Tennessee or Mississippi and there's a lot of air, a lot of fresh fields. He might be a little more laid back, a little more docile, a little more calm. So you have to know these things. Also, what is his culture? Meaning, what's his thermostat? Like, what is his daily actions or interactions? Like, how does he relate to you? How does he relate to others? How does he talk to people? Does he believe in tipping or not? Like, what's his general thermostat? Like, does he tip the waiters or he be like, nah, I don't do that. When you go out, is he the laid back one or is he the problem starter? Like, who are you really with? Lastly, you want to know, what is his spiritual walk? Is he spiritual at all? Is he an atheist? Like, he don't believe in nothing? Is he a Buddhist, metaphysical, non-denominational Christian, Muslim? Like, what are his governing principles? Like, what governs him daily? Where does he get his insight from? And what is the motivation behind the steps that he makes daily in this everyday world? So that's first and foremost. How to dwell in unison is to know who you're with. Because if you don't know them, you can't ever understand them. So these are things like you have to kind of watch like a hawk, like study him. Watch what he's up to. Watch what he's doing. Watch how he talks. And when I say study him, don't take that the wrong way. And I mean be nosy and go through phones and stuff like that. What I'm talking about is become aware of who he is, how he acts, what makes him tick, what ticks him off, little things like that. Just begin to watch and learn, because you learn a lot from a person by just watching them as opposed to them talking that much. Just watch how they interact and watch how they talk. All right. Just know, I have to say this, that I do this. I have a consultant site now. It's on my Instagram. So if you ever need like coaching, I actually have a segment that is specifically for femininity coaching, like divine femininity coaching. If you ever need help with that, listen, I am literally a big sister, but your big sister is here. I could help you. I have a lot of insight into being divinely feminine, partly because of my upbringing, but also partly because of just who I am as a person, and probably a gifting that was given to me at birth, you know, and then some classes, learning, coaching, life coaching, and therapy along the way, and just life experiences, you know. So if that is something you need, it's on the site. You know, be careful of getting relationship advice from bitter, broken women. All right. Bitter Betty not gonna be able to tell you nothing about your relationship that is going to be conducive. You have to always be careful of who you get your advice from. All right. Also, if you are a wife, that's a difference, because here's the thing. When I talk about like stuff like this, and I'm talking about respect and things like that with men, FYI, girlfriend, boyfriends are negotiable. So if I'm talking to a wife, there's a different urgency than when I'm talking to a girlfriend. If I'm talking to a girlfriend and he is wilding and acting up, then I'm going to say, keep it moving. There is no reason to stay in something or to move around something that is not conducive to you if you don't have a marital contract with that person. So my advice would be different to a girlfriend than it would be to a wife. All right. So just know that the consults are affordable. All right. But just know that I'm a strategist. Okay. I will legit give you a strategy, a legit strategy. I'm not going to tell on my business, but if you guys have ever read my books, I have strategies on how I do things and how I move about life. And that is the power of the feminine. And that's what we have to start to understand about ourselves, is like we exert our power in the wrong way 9 times out of 10. There is a power that we have, but it is a behind the scenes power. It is chess, not checkers. It is always going to be divine, serene, calm, intellectual, and intuitively based. But there is always a strategy for how you can drastically change your situation almost overnight. And a lot of times it just starts with your perception. And then your perception, and then your actions come after. All right? So let me just say this. I know some things are triggering, but I have to say it in its most layman's term to make sure that everybody knows what I'm talking about. So the first thing is how to live with the yang, okay? We all have yin and yang inside of us, all of us. I am a woman, so I am predominantly yin. A man is predominantly yang, but he also possesses yin as well, which means that women and men alike possess feminine and masculine. We all do. It's just about the predominance of which one is showing at the moment and which one shows as your general thermostat all the time, right? So a part of being a feminine woman, or operating in your divine yin, operating as a yin person. Remember, we had the traits last time of masculine and feminine. Remember, feminine is a receiving energy and masculine is a doing energy. So women are nurturing, caring, receiving, receptive, collaborative, creative, intuitive, harmonious. We're fluid. We go with the flow. We are manifestors, we are magnifiers, we are reproducers, we are multipliers, and that's in its own right. Men are assertive, aggressive, arrogant, rebellious. competitive, all of the movers, shakers, workers, their energy is very fiery. Doing, going, going. And ours should be, which it isn't, a lot of the times, it's calm, serene, flowing, free-spirited, creative, jolly, A, B, C, and D. All right? So a very big part of being feminine is moving around men, right? We are fluid. We are accommodating. We are cooperative and compromising. We're also very collaborative. So remember I said in the dance last time that if you've ever done ballroom dancing, the man puts his hand on top of the woman's hand, puts his hand on her back, lower back side, and he moves her and sways her with the music, right? There has to be a leader. There has to be a follower. The man is the leader and the woman is the follower. If you try to switch that dance up and two people try to lead, the dance is fumbled. You're probably going to end up tripping over each other's feet, falling, and or not getting anywhere on that dance floor. All right. But it is the same with life. The more that you are going back and forth and there's trying to be two people leading where one ship goes, the ship goes nowhere. All right. So that's what we need to know. We got to understand that it's triggering because at first you're like, well, why I got to go where? But just take a step back, calm down. Don't think about it like that. All right. So somewhere along the line, which I know it came from the fall of the economy, the civil rights movement, affirmative action, a lot of different things, we decided somewhere along the line to be just equal and not opposite. Men and women are equal and opposite. Our power is equal, but it's two different types of power. But somewhere along the line, women decided that we are going to compete and be equal, but not opposite. So we're going to try to be the same as them. All right. We've decided to compete. We've decided to be just like them and then assume that that's what men want, but they don't. They don't. And then we wonder why we get a manifestation of their frustrations. And it's because we have decided to get on the field with them as opposed to being on the bleach cheering for them. All right. So I don't know where we decided that this is what men want, but unless your man is gay, which I'm assuming he isn't, he does not want you to be like him, period. Like he doesn't want any similarities in how you and him relate and usually in how you guys think, right? Why would a man, if you think about it, want the exact same version of himself to move along with? If that's the case, there would be no need for women or no need for men. We would all just cohabitate with one another. Women be with women, men be with men, and we would kind of go on along our lives, but it wasn't really meant to be that way, right? So why, a lot of women ask, well, why did the men got to go first? Well, you got to think of like street rules, right? Let's look at life like street rules. If you get to the stop sign, the person that gets to the stop sign first goes first and so on and so forth, right? So the reality of it is men go first. Why? Just because they're men. All right. Sounds crazy. Sounds simple, but that's what it is. I'm drinking my tea, y'all. This green tea is so amazing. I love it so much. I have been so addicted to it. I've been drinking it every single day, like 3 times a day. It's crazy. All right. So men got to go first. Why? One, Adam was created first. And even if you don't agree with that, you don't believe in the Bible, you're an atheist or whatever, they still go first with everything anyway, right? So if somebody comes in the house and there's an intruder, we want them to get up first, right? We want them to hold the door for us first, right? We want them to possibly get the check for us. We want them to propose to us first. Everything we want them to go first. So it's only fair that when it comes to leadership, they go first. It's like sometimes women, we want it both ways. We be like, well, you go first. Who's that downstairs? Go check it. On a first date, the reality of it is yeah, we can go Dutch, but most women, if they think they're with a gentleman, will want that man to pick up the check first. Now, you might pick up the second one, but you're going to be like, he asked me out. He needs to be the one paying. So we want them to go first. So it's only fair, right? So we have to get out of, as women, the beating our chest mentality, like, I am just like a man and I can do what they do. And we can. We're capable, but we'll never really be as good at their purpose as they are. And they will never be as good as our purpose as we are. So it doesn't make sense for us to ever try to change the divine order of things and switch things up, because it never really works out for either party. All right? So I'm going to look at it like this. Remember when like you was a little kid, right? I don't know if you guys have siblings or whatever, but let me just use our family, right? So you have a sibling. This is how guys look at us when we try to like act like them and be like them. Like, I swear now it's like, you will never catch me in a club with sneakers on. I'm just too girly for that. That's the minute portion of your femininity. But nowadays, it's like girls want to dress like boys. Girls want to be like boys. We in the club singing the same songs they singing, same mannerisms. And what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? I'm always clutching my pearls like, Now, granted, I like me some certain music. Like, I like Pop Smoke. I love his voice. I love it. But you're not going to catch me with the dude mannerisms. Like, no, I'm not. No. And why would any guy want to be with a little boy? Because that's how we look. So let me say this. So, you know how like when you was a kid, right? And your brother, like my brother used to do this all the time. Like, oh, Mom, can I go outside? I want to go outside and ride my bike and my skateboard or my scooter. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And she's like, yeah, you could go. Just take your little sister with you. Why I got to take her? That's how they feel when you try to keep up with them. They like, I'm trying to go outside and play. I'm trying to get on this dirt bike. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. My little sister rolling with me. She can't keep up. She don't know what she's doing. She's going to get hurt. Why is she out here? And let me tell you, that really did happen. One time my mom made my brother take Tiff out. I'll never forget. She was on that strawberry shortcake bike. Now, mind you, again, man's job, provide and protect. She was on a little strawberry shortcake bike. She tried to go down this big old hill with the bike, skipped over a rock. The bike tumbled mad times like this. Tiff busted the whole front of her face open. I don't know why she's not scarred from that now. But I remember that Yodi was devastated because he was like, he saw it like happening in slow motion and there was nothing he could do to help her. There was nothing he could do to save her. So she was just like a mess, bloody, blood everywhere. And he's like devastated. Like, I didn't want her to come out here anyway. That's what it feels like when we try to stomp with the big dogs and try to be with them, do what they do, act like they act, and have the level of leadership and control that they have. Again, women now, we are out here. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm a stay-at-home wife. Everybody knows that I work and everybody knows that I own a business. I do operate in some yang. I have to. At my school, I am the instructor. I am the boss for my students. So I am the boss when I'm there. And at work, my job is to serve my clients. So I am the boss there. However, when I am home, boss hat comes off and feminine woman comes on. Because if you don't know how to turn one off before you switch to the other one, you're gonna bring the yang that you use for the outside world into the house. But guess what? Yang can't dwell with yang. It can't. So you will find that you will always be having stupid, small, minute disputes that you wouldn't normally have because you would, Tiff is texting and I'm like looking up there. That's why I got distracted. You would actually, it could be something simple like your husband's like, it's time for the kids to go to bed. Well, I don't really feel like it's time for them to go to bed. I mean, it's only like 7:45, 8 o'clock. Like, why do they have to go to bed right now? Girl. So what? That's what I mean when I say we have to move around the masculine. We have to be a little bit feminine. If I'm saying, oh, it's time for the kids to go to bed. Get your slippers, get your stuff. You got your stuff. All right, bye. Because I don't know what you got planned. But now, guess what? I just saved myself a very petty dispute that now we're going to go to bed with angst or like tension that didn't really need to be there only because I had to say something. We don't always have to say something. There, like as a feminine woman that is actually dwelling with a true masculine, a true yang, we are going to have to, like I said last week, mind our tongue, pick our battles, and learn how to offer a certain level of respect. All right? That's where a host of issues arise. All right? So, we can sit at the table with them, but they will never look at us as equals. So guess what? If we at the table and we trying to get in on their conversations and do the same things that they do and talk about the same things that they're talking about, first of all, we're not intriguing. That's not a turn on to a man. They don't like it. And if they're going to intrigue you, they're going to talk to you and be like, yeah. But as soon as you get up from the table, it's like, oh God, thank God. So anyway, because they really don't think that they just, it's like a little sister analogy. Like, they don't really think we can stomp with them. They don't really even respect, even if we can, they don't respect it. Like, it is what it is. Like, look at women's sports. Like, look at women's basketball. LeBron, the leader of the men's basketball, like LeBron James, makes millions, and the leader of the women's basketball makes $500,000. Women don't bring out as much money as the men. They don't get the same treatment as the men. It's crazy how it works, but it's kind of just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So here is another thing, the second thing. The masculine can only exist where it is respected. It can only exist and dwell where it's respected. If it doesn't feel respected, it no longer wants to exist in that place anymore. Now, here's where it gets a little sticky, because the feminine can only exist where it's adored, admired, and appreciated. So this is where the issues in relationships come in, is because the women aren't offering the men respect, and as a result of, the man is withholding adoration, admiration, and appreciation. So now the relationship is toxic. It feels toxic. You also, let me turn that off. Let me just silence it. This is going to keep going on and on and on. People just be like calling my house phone for no reason. I don't even answer my house phone. I'm home this time, y'all. I'm not at Dermalith, as y'all can see. Dermalith is pink. Home is blue. So, what was I saying? Oh, okay. Yes. So the masculine can only exist where it's respected, and the feminine can only exist where it's adored, admired, and appreciated. What happens in a lot of relationships is it's always teeter-totter, like one side. This is where the word toxic, I feel, comes from, is when one party is offering something and the other party is not offering it back. So if there's a woman out there that's respecting her masculine in every way, shape, or form, and he's not offering adoration, appreciation, and admiration back to her, the relationship is one-sided. She's always going to feel sad, neglected, untaken care of, and she might seek to get those things fulfilled outside of the marriage. So whether it's an affair, which some women don't take it that far, but a lot of women just end up being where they feel like that. So at work, if they get the adoration and the admiration, that's where they're going to spend most of their time. If they feel like it when they're with their kids, they're going to find a way to always be with their kids and not necessarily be with their mate. If they find that with their friends or their girls group, they're going to find a way to always be at those things. Where men, it's the same thing. Now you have those relationships where the man is offering a woman all this adoration, appreciation. He's so in love with her. He's admiring her, and she's talking to him any kind of way, treating him like any little thing. The relationship is toxic. The only time a relationship is going to be harmonious if both parties offer the other what the other one needs. Women like to be respected, but we don't need it like the air we breathe. What we need like the air we breathe is to feel adored and admired and appreciated. A man wants to be admired and appreciated too, but what they need, like the air they breathe, is respect. Men equate respect with love. If you respect a man, he's automatically going to assume you love him. period. If you respect him and are loyal to him, he's automatically going to feel like you love him and adore him and admire him. And women, if you adore us and admire us and you're always appreciative, oh, babe, I'm just so grateful. Thank you for this meal. It's so good. We just feel like we are on cloud 9. Like, you could say, I could have made the smallest thing, and you like, this is so good. It's nothing like a home-cooked meal. Guess what we want to do? Go back in the kitchen and make some more meals. It's very simple. The equation seems very simple, but most people don't want to be vulnerable enough to offer what the other party actually needs. All right? So, also understand this. The masculine is innocent until proven guilty. So when I say that, I'm not talking about cheating or anything like that. What I'm talking about is treat him like a man. Give him the respect as such until he does something to pull himself off of that pedestal. Men, the true masculine does not need or want to prove his masculinity or who he is to anyone. So you meet a man or you're with your husband, or he doesn't want to have to tell you why you should respect him. Because secretly, he doesn't really know. All he knows is that he needs it, desires it, and requires it. That's it. He doesn't know what to tell you. He don't know to be like, well, because if you ask him like, why should I respect you? That's disrespectful to them. Have you ever noticed, like, if you ever ask a guy why you should respect him, he gets even more mad. Like, he be tripping. Like, listen, you don't got disrespect. Like, I wasn't disrespecting you. I was just asking you a question. But they really see that as disrespect. Why? Because the masculine never feels like or wants to prove itself to anybody. They want the respect unconditionally based on their position as what? Men in general. That's it. And unless they do something to kick themselves off the pedestal, like out here doing some wild stuff, out here, messing up deals and cheating on you and just doing all the craziness, then they fall off the pedestal, then the disrespect can come, or not even disrespect, just leave. But again, the masculine doesn't want to prove himself, all right? And the women who have that standpoint that are always like, well, what do? You got to prove that to me because I don't understand why I should have to just respect a man because he's a real masculine. Men don't keep those kind of women around. They just don't. The first thing you'll hear them say is, yo, I don't even got to deal with this, because they really don't. Because there's a slew of other women that are truly feminine that will offer that without it being a chore for them. All right? Got it? I'm sorry. I just finished tattooing my toes. Like, I'm just doing anything. So I just got out the bath and I was like, oh my God, I said 6:30 and I didn't feel like getting dressed. So, and I'm going to my sister's house like this after too. So look at me, world, pink robe. That's what I'm doing. All right. So what the feminine also needs though is adoration until proven otherwise. If a woman meets a man and he doesn't act like, he adores her or that he even admires her, like, most men, when they meet women, they met them because of their beauty. They picked them because they look like something they wanted, whether it was your face, smile, butt, whatever, breast, that's what they were looking at first, right? So now that they have, that they admire something, they adore something about you, or they wouldn't have chose you. They wouldn't even have asked you out on a date. So if you're with a man and he starts to withhold the adoration and the admiration, that relationship is going to teeter-totter very, very, very quickly. All right? All right. So this, again, is why it's important to respect and move around the masculine. The reason why is, one, because of his contribution to society. It serves and protects us. That's the gist. That's their purpose. Two, when you're around the true masculine, the circles that you end up being involved in will be quality people, quality circles with quality people, especially other quality women. So it actually changes the dynamic of your life too when you're with a true masculine. Not that there's a fake masculine, actually. I just mean like operating in yang most of the time. All right. So remember, they don't want the annoying little sister around. So when you are like that, they actually end up leaving you home. You ever notice that? Like the guy that, I know, like, I've been at meetings or whatever, certain things, and guys bring their wife and they're like over talking the meeting, or, well, I got something to say. Well, my opinion. Well, I feel, girl, and all the other wives are looking like, girl, this is not our place. This is not our time, and it is not our time to have our voice. We need to, hush. You kind of like, girl, stop. Like, what are you doing? But they can't stop. That's kind of how it is. So they end up leaving that type of woman home. They don't really enjoy having you out around their counterparts, because you standing next to your man gives them validation, like I said last week. You being at the business meeting gives them validation that they know how to provide and protect, and they know how to provide and protect and someone other than themselves. Hold on, y'all. My kid is on the phone, mad loud, and he about to walk in the house because I saw his braids flopping in the window. I can hear him. All right. So, y'all hear that? If he don't hurry up, get in his house so he could. I'm not. He looking at me going, "What's up?" Like through the window. Smiling. Don't smile. All right, so let me just give women a tip too. Women who lead with their money and their degrees never attract good men. It's terrible, because we be thinking that's what they want to hear. Hey, what's up?
I'm about to leave soon.
Oh, okay. All right, where you going?
I'm about to go see. He's not here. I'm about to go see Tim.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
No, I'm not leaving right now.
Okay. So women who lead with their money and degrees never attract good men. And there is a reason why, right? If you get to the table with men, you're talking about, like, we all have accolades. It's 2021. But if you get to the table and lead with your, and when I say to the table, I mean, you get on the phone, you get the number. Even in the house that you're married, you're always bringing up how much money you make and how you contribute to the household too. And, you know, and I bought all this up in here. Like, anytime you bring your degree, your money, how much you make to the table, men are turned off by that. Why? Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's just a fact, statistically. Right? So they don't love it. The reason why is because men who are worth their weight in salt already kind of got a life plan, a purpose, goals, a vision. And your money is usually not going to always be a part of that. Now, granted, every relationship, every couple goes through hard times. There's times where the husband might be in between work and you know, hop in, but that role got to switch back ASAP. It can't continue like that, or one is going to lose respect for the other. The yang is going to become the yin. The yin is going to become the yang, and neither party is going to be happy about it. Nobody's going to enjoy being in their new role. Nobody. All right. So again, and usually it's the women. This is the sad part, right? Because it all comes full circle. If you ever notice, usually it is the women that make all the money and have all the degrees. They're usually always the ones saying, oh my God, it's so many no good men out here. These men are crazy. Like, they just be wanting you to pay for everything and don't want to pay for no dates and don't want to do for nothing. Want to know why? Because the only men that care about what you're talking about are homeless men. The men that are always in between something. In between jobs, in between girls' houses, like they don't really got their own place. They just keep staying at different girls' houses, like whoever they dating, they live there now. Then they break up with her, then they go to another girl, they live there now, and they always kind of in between something. That is the only man that is attracted to that type of conversation. The man that needs you. The man that's going to use you. The man that's going to be like, oh, she got all this handle. He going to sit back and make a dent in the chair while he watching your TV with the cable you paid for, with the UI that you turned on, and the gas that you got on, and he gonna sit back like this while you working because you led with your money. You led with the fact that you went to Harvard. You led with the fact that you got this degree and you make all this money thinking that it was going to be attractive, but that's not what attracts a real masculine. That's not what attracts a true masculine. What attracts a true masculine is femininity. What attracts a true masculine is being charming, having charisma, showing your caring side, that you're nurturing, that you're vulnerable, showing that you love and can rear the children, showing that your backside is still soft, your skin's still soft, your skin look good, your body's still intact. That is what actually attracts a real masculine, because he does not want him. He wants something opposite of him. It sounds hard, but it's really the truth. The men that pick the women that lead with their money are usually bums. And I don't mean literal bums. I just mean like figuratively, like bums. Like men that don't necessarily have their stuff together. And then the women that choose them, they're acting up. Got it? Makes sense to y'all now? All right. So, now, hold on, my son's, okay, he's about to go get in the shower. All right. So here's the thing, and this is where the issue comes between the two different types of women. Masculine women and feminine women don't really relate well, and we don't get along well. The reason why is because masculine women feel like feminine women are weak, and we aren't at all. And feminine women feel like, yeah, you led with your money and your degree, but now he picked a cute girl that looked like she don't got nothing going for her except for her little regular job and nothing else. So you went through all this and did all this and led with all that, and he still didn't pick that anyway. So there's always been like a little slight war between the masculine and the feminine women and the women that operate more in their masculine. Because the women that operate more in their masculine look down on the feminine women as though it's weakness. Oh my goodness, my husband is calling me. He always be calling me during my lives. It's like he be knowing I be doing one. If he walk in, y'all, I'll be quiet for a second though. Because I don't be wanting him to know my secrets, because I know the strategies. And I can't let him know that I know. See, again, you can't let all your tools out the box mad fast. And you can't let them know that you know that they know you know what's going on. If that makes sense. Yeah. I know y'all got it. All right. So, again, be careful who you take advice from, ladies. Because sometimes we be going through stuff in our marriage or our relationships, and then we get advice from Bitter Betty, and they're looking to give you advice out of their baggage. Like, if all you attract is homeless dudes and dudes that's in between their situation, you are going to have a skewed view on men. And your baggage is going to come out, and you're going to give me advice out of your baggage, and I might not have your situation because I don't act like you and I don't think like you, Betty. So that might not even be my situation. Then they're going to talk you off the ledge from a really actual good dude, when actually it was your behavior that needed to change, and not that he was necessarily that wrong. Because here's the problem. So a huge part of our femininity, again, because I don't want to get off, because last time I got off, because we was distracted. My dad was up there, my sister was up there. But so a huge part of our femininity is dwelling with the masculine, is just rolling with the punches. Why? For the sake that they're men, for the sake that we want them. Like, we as women, like, if I'm outside right now and a stranger starts chasing me, like a man, and my husband's not home, if another man saw that and didn't step up, I would think that there was something weird about that. Like, we just expect men to be what they need to be for us, right? They are our protectors. So you move around protection. Understand this, if we want to look at an analogy. If this is the protection, I want the protection in front of me. The moment I move outside of the protection, I'm not protected anymore. I'm open for anything and everything. I'm open for spiritual attacks, emotional attacks, mental attacks, and literal physical attacks. So I need to stay behind the protection. That's really the most simple that you can make it. So again, their protection, they're not the bodyguard. A bodyguard is different. A bodyguard, first of all, you pay them to watch you. And secondly, a bodyguard doesn't protect you from the front. Bodyguards usually walk behind you and they walk on the side of you because they need to see a different view. But a protection in a war, like a wall, you are directly behind them, meaning you don't get hit, period. Like a bodyguard got to run and try to jump in front of you to catch the shot. The protector is already in front of you. They're already your shield. There's nothing that you have to do to be protected except for stay behind them. That's it. Ooh, that was a word. That was for me. I didn't have that in my notes, but it was clearly for me because I be wild sometimes trying to come up out the protection because we as women, we just feel like we don't always need it, But I just wanna like get all of us as women like a better understanding of how to just dwell harmoniously, right? So the second thing we need to know is that the purpose and the drive of the masculine is not women. I'm sorry that we're not their everything, but we're not. The drive for masculine is work and development. That is their drive. That's what makes them happy. That's what gives them validation as men. And that is what they work toward. It is an innate, instinctual thing that is their drive. We be trying to go against God, period. You cannot go against God. Did you ever notice that men take the jobs the most that are the most life-threatening? Like, they the ones that's going through the tunnels trying to find people and get stuff. They the ones that's jumping off buildings and putting out fires. And those are life-threatening jobs. And there's no other reason for why they would apply for it besides the fact that it gives them money and it will give them validation and it will absolve that instinct as a man to provide and protect. There's no other reason. So the fact that we want to be their everything, a lot of times we are, but work and development is always going to come first. And the moment we understand that, we'll be better off. Don't compete with it. Understand that you might be a side chick to his money. The reason why, and I'm going to explain this, is because men, they can't separate the two. The way that they provide is not separated from who they're providing for. Hey, Ro. I'm on my way, y'all. So again, they can't separate the two. So a man that's providing and work and development is his number one thing, like we're gonna come second to that. They don't know how to separate that. In their mind, if you come against that, how are you gonna come against that? I'm doing this all for you. In their mind. If you ever notice again, okay, let's look at her. I have 2 boys, right? Let's look at that. I got kids. Everything that men do is usually for women. Think about it. They grow up, go to college. Why? So they can get a good job. Why? So that they can get a house. Why? So that they can have a woman in it. They want to grow up, be teenagers, get a job. Why? So that they can get money. Why? So that they can take girls on a date and get some buns at the end of the night. I don't know. They want to get money. Why? So that they can be with, provide for, and give women stuff. Most men wouldn't care about none of this stuff. They wouldn't care about getting a haircut. They wouldn't care about having a nice car. They wouldn't care about cologne or if they was musty or none of that stuff. The only reason they do it is for women. It's for us. So when they're working that hard, right? And then you come against how hard they're working, in their mind, they like, you unpleasable. Because this is all for you. You ever notice that if you meet a single guy and it's just him, that you go in his house, he don't care about nothing. He got a futon and a flat screen and literally that's it. His clothes is in some bins, you know. I'm not saying he nasty or dirty, but what I'm saying is he don't have the elaboration. He doesn't care. The only reason they care about those things is to appease to women. The only reason they even care about having a nice house is so that they could bring girls over here. Like, that's it. It's all about us. It always is all about us. That's just how it works. That's what men like to do. So, don't come against that, because when we do that, in their mind, that's instinctual for them, and it still comes against the divine order of things. And also, it makes us just look super unpleasable. Like, we have to learn to understand it and be okay with it, and not understand it and be offended by it. Now, nobody's saying your man's supposed to work 100 hours a day. You never see him. You never talk to him. He ain't never gonna be around. Now, I'm not saying that. That's a little bit OD. Like, calm down. But what I am saying is that his level of providing and protecting is gonna be at an all-time high. Like, I remember growing up not always seeing my dad. And the reason why was because my dad worked in New Jersey and we lived in Connecticut. My mother had to find hobbies of her own, enjoy herself with our extracurricular activities, and understand that she might only see my dad 3 times a week. And I was even, like, I was in high school, so I knew what was going on. But I was like, wow, Mom, you're doing good with this. She was like, no, Dad gotta work. And then don't let him do a double. She wouldn't see him for 3 days at a time, because a double consisted of an hour and a half commute to 2 hours home, an hour and a half commute to 2 hours there. Then on top of that overtime, she wouldn't even see him until the next day. The third day, I mean. So, you know, and she supported that. She was never angry or mad. It just never seemed like it affected her. So a lot of people looked at my parents' relationship like, oh, they always together. They was, every time you saw her, you saw him. Every time you saw him, you saw her. Yeah, that's true after he retired. But before that, my father worked all the time, and he worked overnight for the bulk of his life. My mom didn't even necessarily never sleep in the bed with my dad. She might get in the bed with him when he took his nap during the day, but even then she couldn't do that as much because she had children to tend to. So because she had the children to tend to, so in the beginning there was a lot of sacrifices that were made in that relationship that people saw the end and was like, oh, I want that. I wish I had what they had. But people don't know the sacrifice that she made to enjoy and be in that type of relationship. My mom deserved every ounce of time that she got from my dad. Every ounce of it, because she sacrificed so much in the beginning without complaining and without making him feel terrible about it. Because you imagine he's doing all of this to provide for his family, and all he gets is complaints. They probably would have never made it. Because my father's stubborn, and he probably would have just stopped talking to her and neglected her, and that thing would have just blew apart. I already know how I could see the handwriting on the wall. All right? So don't complain. So not saying that they're never going to be home, but this is what may be the life and the span of a life, and, you know, living with it every day. Hey, babe, love you. Got to go to work. I got to do this 12-hour shift. I got a lot of meetings today, but, you know, I'm going to talk to you. I'll see you later. I love you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Bye. Love it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You tend to the stuff that has to do with the home and the kids. So what you should not be doing is calling him about them big head, rock head kids. Oh, such and such at school. Handle it. He's at work. Now, granted, if you work too, y'all gonna have to come up with a balance. But even 9 times out of 10, if you work too, you're still gonna be the one handling most of those things. Just understand you took on 2 roles. So now he's not gonna even be as good as that, because he's not a nurturer, he's not a caretaker. It's just not in their innate nature as men. It's a learned behavior if they do it. Also, just realizing that if you're not a nag, a hag, and a drag, the moment he gets breaks at work, you're going to be the one he wants to call. If he's not calling you while he's gone for all those hours at work, it's 9 times out of 10 because you're aggy and you're complaining and you're controlling, and he don't feel like talking to you or dealing with that while he's at work. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to break it to you, but that's just what it is. It's how it goes. All right. So just realize and understand that their drive is going to always be work and development. All right. And we may come second to that. That doesn't omit family time. It doesn't omit vacations. It doesn't omit being respectful. But a lot of times, like, even with, like, it's like funny to me, like, to hear the mentality of some women. Like, I call my husband, he better answer the phone. He better answer the phone for me, period. Because if I call and he don't answer, do you know when I call my husband or any man, the first thing I say is, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you busy? Is this a good time? Yeah, I'm good. What's going on? Because one, I don't want him to be on edge thinking there's an emergency. But two, it's just respectful. Like, I know you're out handling business and I'm just home. So like, hey, I was just calling to tell you, do you have the time to listen to what just happened to me at work? Oh yeah, babe, go on. And okay, all right, thank you. I gotta go. Thank you for listening to me. Just be respectful. Yo, men love stuff like that. They love it. But when you like, he don't pick up, and then when you finally do pick up, or you call him back, you like, I called you. He knows you called him because he saw the missed call. He knows you called him. So you saying, I called you. Unless you want to start a fight, there is no need for it. He knows you called. Now he's calling you back. And that's probably what he's going to say. But then we're going to feel like that's rude. Like, I called you. Okay, I know you called. And I'm calling you back. What's up? Now we're going to be like, well, why are you talking to me like that? Why? I mean, I don't understand. What? Girl, it was you. It was you. But we don't know because we don't understand how to move around the masculine. We don't know how to be like fluid, like, We don't know. We just be like rigid, like, what? I said, well, no, what you mean? No, I'm the strong one. No, you're the strong. No, it's me. I'm telling y'all, we got to stop fighting it because it's not working for us. It's not working for us. And it's not working for our relationships. We have a lot of broken homes. 1 in 4 black women and or Hispanic women get married because men ain't trying to marry that. They're not trying to marry your bad attitude. They're not trying to marry your sarcastic mouth. They're not trying to marry your disrespect. They're not trying to marry somebody that's always complaining, always got a problem, always talking slick, always talking back. Don't know how to let stuff go, always bringing stuff up. Don't know how to be, like, it's not cute anymore to have that slick mouth. Like, be respectful. Even when I call my dad, I'm like, hey, Dad, my dad ain't got nothing going on. He retired and lived by himself. He probably glad I'm calling, but I just still have the habit of being like, hey, Dad, I'm sorry. He's like, nah. I'm mad if I happen to catch him and he was taking a nap. Dang, I ruined it. I called you while he was taking a little nap. I'm sorry. You want me to call you back? We have to just start to learn to be more fluid and feminine and romantic. Relationships ain't even sexy no more. They're not even romantic no more. It's like you hanging with your nigga. Like, hey, what you doing? I don't know what you doing. I don't know. I guess. What happened to the days where men were men and women were women and the man grabbed your hand on the chair while you was driving and you just cooey and But now we in the car like, yeah, boom, boom. Doing the same stuff they doing. It's not working for us. We are in a war and we are actually losing, y'all. Because it's not working. Okay? All right. So, I talked about that. All right. Also, nothing makes a woman respect a man more than knowing that come hell or high water, this man is going to do what it takes to provide for his family. Understand this. Also, the fastest way for a woman to lose respect for a man is when he neglects his purpose and his bag for you. Like, you trying to, like, see him or whatever. Let's say you trying to, like, smash or something and he call out for you. It's cute the first couple times, and then after a while, you don't understand why, but you're going to be disgusted. Like, he's just always trying to be in my face. Like, when a man stop working and kind of trying to hang in the house with you and trying to be with you all the time, after a while, you don't realize you just disgusted. You like, girl, I don't know. But after some time, that got annoying to me. I don't know. Like, you just don't realize that you don't have that level. That is the fastest way for when we think it's cheating, but it's not. It's not. We're automatically going to lose respect for that. But most women take their man back after they cheat. But when a man stop working, just sitting around the house and looking at you, after a while, that thing's not cute. At first, you like cool, like, oh, my man in the house, we in the house together. But after a while, you don't know why, you disgusted, you start talking to him any kind of way. You know, it's because we're going against the divine order of things. We're going against God pretty much. And these are subconscious behaviors. We don't realize what just happened. We don't understand why we feeling this way, but it's because we're not respecting it anymore. We don't like it. We think we like it, but deep down at a core level, at our innate feminine nature, we don't like it. All right. So another thing is, don't ever let a man start to fumble and reorganize his life for you. So in essence, I'm saying the same thing, but if he starts to fumble and starts to reorganize his life, now mind you, he's supposed to be the leader and the bring you on, and now y'all have to reorganize everything together. But if he starts to reorganize his life for you, meaning like now his schedule revolves around your schedule, now his stuff revolves around your stuff, eventually that small kingdom it's gonna fail, because you're again going to lose respect for that. A man is always supposed to maintain his position, and then we join asunder that. All right. So it's one of the easiest things, but it's hard when you want to exert a lot of control. All right. Also, the reason why men have the most power is because they have the most responsibility. The reality of it is they have a very big role in our lives and in the world. Without them, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have happened. Obviously, we have smart women and women that have done great things. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, like the basic stuff, like who built this house I'm in? It was not a woman. I promise you that. These houses were built in like the 1800s. Didn't no woman do it. The power lines, the railroad tracks, the things that make life go on a day-to-day basis. We didn't do it. They did. And without them, our life will be much different. Without the strength, the resiliency, the idea of them having jobs that they risk their lives all the time. Now, granted, you got some guys that work in a bank, or guys that, are the trash men. They don't risk their lives. But then you have firefighters, construction workers, men that deep sea dive, they doing things that you wouldn't live. There's a high fatality rate, and you actually applied for that job. Again, it's God. There's no other explanation for why anybody would do it and do it willingly. Like, oh yeah, that sounds lit. No. All right. So another question I have, but this is for the guys. I really kind of want to know, like, why they end up staying with women who respect you or lose respect. Because it's very hard for a woman to re-respect you once you lost respect. So as a man, if a woman has lost respect for you, if you sneak on this live, leave. Because it's very, very hard once a woman loses respect for you to get her to re-respect you. It don't be working like that. It takes like a lot and a lot of hoops to go through. Sir, can you turn that light on for me? Because I feel like I can't see. So understand, this is why too that married women need sacred feminine space. So a lot of guys, they don't trust that we like to do stuff. It's weird, but I don't understand why. But we need sacred feminine space, meaning we need girlfriends, brunch days. Why'd you turn that one on? No, it's too bright. Girls' nights, girls' trips. And no, it's not so we can close that blind for me. And no, it's not so we can be sneaky. It's not because we up to no good. It's not because we trying to cheat. The reason we do those things is because we finna talk about y'all. The things that you wanted us to mind our tongue about, the things that you wanted us to pick our battle about, the things that you wanted us to stay shut about and not say anything when you said put the kid to bed at 7:30, but we was like, that's mad early, but we didn't say anything. That's what we're going to talk about when we're with each other. Y'all, other women that are feminine are dealing with the same stuff we're dealing with, and we need the outlet to do so. So that's why no, y'all can't come. And and then women, beware of the men that's always trying to come. That's an insecurity in itself. It just don't work. All right? Be aware of that. But that's what we about to do. We need that. We need sister circles. We need more conversations that show that we're all in support of each other. We need our sister circle empowerment time where we can all kind of say the same thing. Like, we keep coming home and we keep asking you to put your underwear in a hamper, but you don't. And then we have to keep putting it in there, even though you got to walk past the hamper to get out the room, but you still didn't do it. That's the stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about stuff like you take your big old shoes off, leave them in the middle of the floor, your wife go in the bathroom in the middle of the night and trip over them. That's what we're going to talk about. Stuff like that. And then it's support and encourage each other so that we can all do it again another day. All right? That's what we're going to do. All right? So now I'm going to talk about one last thing very quickly. I'm going to talk about our emotional roller coasters really quick. Men cannot dwell where there is emotional roller coasters. Men don't like roller coasters usually anyway, unless they're children. But they don't like roller coasters. So women, we are more on the emotional side than men. They're more on an even keel than we are. And we always have our time of the month, meaning that we have high highs and then we have sometimes really low lows. So we have to learn to differentiate between our feelings and emotions. And emotions are not your feelings, right? So it's perfectly okay to have feelings, but what's not okay is taking those feelings and acting them out in a negative manner. We cannot do that. It is not okay, even in your female friendships. It's just not okay anymore. You got to have some emotional integrity and some emotional self-control and some emotional regulation. Like, if you're emotionally deregulated, men don't know how to handle that. Where you feel like it's okay when you're mad to throw stuff and yell and raise your voice and go crazy and stomp upstairs, slam cabinets, and that's like, you're emotionally deregulated. You got to calm down. All right? The distinct difference between feelings and emotions is they are motivated by thought. So whatever you're thinking about, you're feeling. So if you're feeling sad, angry, depressed, disappointed, those are your feelings. What an emotion is an agitation of the feeling. So feelings are what you feel on the inside, and emotions are how you act them out. So no man is telling you not to feel. Nobody's saying that. But what they are saying is control your emotions as it relates to how you feel. There's no difference in yelling at someone and saying, da 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 da, yelling and throwing stuff, or going to them and saying, you know what, I'm really angry about what you just did. We don't always have to act out the agitations of our feelings to get our point across. Men don't know how to deal with that. All right? So, they also like women with good attitudes, positive, smiley, charming. If you always the woman with the gas face, they say something you like duh. They talk, you like, not going to be conducive for a harmonious relationship. All right. They don't always understand the emotional ups and downs that we go over the course of a month. So sometimes it's okay to help them out. Like, I actually ended up one year telling my husband, like, okay, this is how my cycle works. This is when it comes, but a week before that, I'm always going to be a little bit more easily irritated. And I just need you to understand that I might be a little bit more sensitive around that time, and things might aggravate me a little more, but I also am not as vocal around that time either, because I know what I'm vocalizing could be foolishness. So I don't even say anything, because Then I might think about it the next week and be like, oh my God, what was that? I don't even remember what it was, because it wouldn't have been something that normally agitated me, right? So because they're more on an even keel as it relates to their emotions, when women start to act crazy, they don't feel like riding a wave with you, and they usually don't. So here are some things that they might start to do, and I'm just going to give you them really quick when you start to act up and act out, all right? So the first one is they're going to walk away. If a man doesn't know how to deal with your emotions and you're acting crazy and yelling and throwing stuff, they're going to leave. They're going to walk away, and the reason they're doing that is because they got to create space. They have to create space for your safety, because if they're the protector and you're wilding, they don't know how to do that. So they're just going to leave. That's just what they do. If you guys don't live together, he might take a few days off from you. Like, he'll be like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. You call, he not answering. You text, he don't answer. That's usually what happens with that. If you do live together, he might leave for a few hours to cool off, and that's not the time to expect attention or affection from him. Don't think he's going to come back and hug you and y'all going to love it. That's not going to happen. And if you try to call or keep getting him to come back, you're only going to look crazier than he already thinks you are. So don't do that. Don't try to keep calling. Don't try to keep texting. Just let him have the space to cool off. Then when he comes back, you kind of have to deal with your part and kind of apologize and get him back at a better space. All right. Whatever you do, don't try to chase him once he decides to leave, because that could become dangerous for you and him, because no man wants to ever put his hands on a woman. But after some time of like the arguing, the wild and the disrespect, you chasing him down the street, like, you don't know what might trigger for him. So nobody's going to say he's okay for hitting you, but then again, nobody's going to say it was okay for you to be chasing him down the street either. So the other thing a man might do is try to seek an outlet. So he might not cheat or have an affair, or he might. But it does mean that they're going to find ways to release steam and tension. You're going to find that they're always doing something outside of you. They're either at the gym, they playing ball on the court, they're going to spend countless hours at work, throw themselves into a new business venture. Whatever it is, they're going to do whatever it is just to get away from you. It sounds sad because it is. But they're just not going to want to be around you or your energy or that type of spirit. So, don't, just try to keep your emotions on a more even keel and try not to be disrespectful. All right. Shut down. This is when they shut you down. They shut you out. They don't answer the phone for you. This could be months on end. This is the guy that doesn't give you closure. And the reason why is because it's not that he's not trying to give you closure. He's just really seeking space. Like, he don't want to be bothered. He's hoping that at some point his disappearance will cause you to change your behavior. He might try to come back through the open door or the crack he left in the door. But when he does come through the crack and sees that nothing else has changed, then you've probably lost him. He's gone. So the shutdown is usually an incite for change. He wants you to stop doing what it is that you were doing that caused him to leave in the first place. So if you keep doing it, he's going to leave, but then you come back and see you still doing it, he's going to be out again. All right. So, and then go back and realize that the masculine cannot dwell where it's not respected. It just can't. Can't be there. It won't be there. It won't try to be there. And it will always find a way to seek relief from where it's not respected. And it will always go where it does feel respected. That's the most simple I could put it. They want an unconditional respect. And they want to feel validated by the respect that you give them. So, and for some women, it's easier than others to do this. Like, it depends on your upbringing. Like, a lot of times, some women were brought up in either single woman households. So the woman was the strength. That's what she saw. This is not like makes her a bad person. It's just she saw strength. That's what she did. That's what she does. And that's what she's modeling herself after. It worked for her mom. So, of course, she's thinking it's going to work for her. Not realizing that her mom could have been widowed, the man could have left because of certain things. Whatever it is, she saw strength in her mom. And then there's other women that grew up with dads in the home, but they saw the mom as the dominant figure. The mom was the one that called the shots and ran the house and did all this stuff. And the man was the docile one. So they might have been the one that saw that worked. But did it though? Were they happy? Was the house harmonious? Was it conducive for the raising of the children? It all depends, it's all relative. And then lastly, they could have grew up in a household where they saw masculine men. Like I have a lot of men in my family. A lot. So I saw a lot of strong men that didn't really tolerate a lot of stuff. Like it was like crazy, but yeah, no, the women were very, very docile, except for my mom wasn't docile though. My mom was mouthy, but she wasn't really mouthy with my dad. So that was the difference. Like you can be like that, but just don't be like that in the house. Don't be like that with him. Just learn how to swap your hat off. Learn how to change it. When I leave work at 3:30, Tanisha, the boss of 17 people, gets shut off. Period. And I come home and I'm soft and fluid and soft-spoken and nice and bathing and smell good all the time. And you're not going to be able to keep your hands off me. And I'm not going to be thinking about work or bossing nobody around, not when I'm here. Because if anything, sometimes I get in trouble for not saying enough. I'd be like, kids be wilding. I'd be like, you going to say something? I'm not. Like, I'm chilling. I am chilling. That's what you're here for. If I have to worry about all the things that I would have to worry about if I was by myself, then there's no need. So I sometimes operate too much in my feminine because I'd be like, I'll watch it happen and be like, bye. See, what time are you coming back?
I don't know.
No, you need to know. You need to tell me what time you're coming back. So that I have an idea of when to expect you.
Idea?
Yep.
Well, the event ends at 11, I think they said.
Oh, it is Friday. All right, whatever. Just call me, text me.
It's Friday. Yeah, I got service now. Come on.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You safe. All right. So, that's pretty much it. I'm hungry. I'm about to order from Mecca Noodle because I'm ready to go. I'm starving, actually. My sister kept going, when are you doing your live? I had some more stuff, but I'm just too hungry. My stomach is growling. And this tea is like making me more hungry. You know? I will post the replay. Well, actually, I'll have Tiff post the replay because I don't know how to do it. But I'm not that tech savvy. I just give the information. I don't know what else after that to do. But so that is that. I am going to be doing live videos or maybe just recorded videos and then posting them. And it'll probably be like Mondays and Fridays. So there's some time span in between. I don't know what I want to talk about next time though. But Monday and Fridays, I think we're going to talk about friendships, women friendships. I felt like that just came to me. So we're probably going to talk about that. But Monday and Friday, so even if it's not a live, it might just be a regular video posted on my page or on my YouTube. So, but I'm going to still have the link on my page so people can be able to get the information. All right. But I thank you guys so much for watching. This is Evolve University. This is all about making us bigger, better people, myself included. Like I said, the message is always for me. I just only share it with you. I get on my own case all the time. Like, ooh, gotta stop that. Gotta stop doing that. When the information comes to me, I just thank God that I got it. Use it, try to apply it, but I feel like it's not fair for me to just know it. I gotta tell somebody, so that's what I use this platform for. And also now on my Instagram, the Tanisha Levon page, I do have the M-Shake website and my coaching and all of that is up there on Calendly.com, but there's a link, you'll see it. It shows all of it, The femininity one is my favorite coaching to do, but I have other ones too, like business and also life coaching and relationships. So there's 4 different segments. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. All right. Bye.